Welcome to Once Upon a Coin, documenting the ongoing history of blockchain and cryptocurrency. And as always, I'm your storyteller, Jason Cassidy. Today's story is about an early crypto startup that put the most interesting of spins on what a Bitcoin exchange could be. For an industry that's known for its obscurity and lack of trust, the blockchain world produced a complete anomaly, an environment where crypto fans could exchange Bitcoin for money by meeting up in person. That's right. If you were a highly trusting and social person, then you had the option of finding a like-minded person that lived in your area and swap cash for coins, and perhaps even make a new friend in the process. This is the story of local Bitcoins.
Sun cast a shadow, a digital line is coming over the mountain and over your mind. Double down on your Bitcoin, hang on for the ride. We're moving into the future, one block at a time. We're moving into the future, one block at a time.
Our tale begins all the way back in June of 2012 when the company was founded by Jason Cassidy over in Helsinki, Finland. The platform's goal was to facilitate person-to-person trading of Bitcoin by having them meet up physically to conduct the transaction. And while crypto exchanges did exist back in 2012, most of them couldn't handle high-volume trades. Plus, the level of security they offered wasn't exactly airtight. So, in a sense, local Bitcoins was offering people a decentralized method at the time. And this was at least part of the motivation behind why Jason launched the startup in the first place. He wanted a place where people could acquire Bitcoin without having to go through the experiences of a centralized traditional exchange. Here's how things worked. People would post offers to buy and sell Bitcoin, plus what type of payment they would accept, be it cash, PayPal, or some form of online banking. There was also a reputation system in place to ensure that the more successful trades you made, the more likely you'd be getting future business. And if you had a really good reputation, then you might even get away with offering a slightly higher rate. A lot of savvy traders would pay a bit more to ensure that they were dealing with an ethical person on the other end. Along with this, there was an escrow and conflict resolution service for when things didn't go as planned. Given how passionate some of the early Bitcoiners were, this idea actually took off, and local Bitcoins became very popular. By 2013, a bull market in crypto was taking place, and it was this rally more than any others in the past that got the mainstream media paying attention. All of this additional coverage was really helping existing crypto startups grow even faster, and local Bitcoins was no exception. They did so well, in fact, that by December of 2013, they had amassed 110,000 active users. Not only that, but those users were moving around a heck of a lot of Bitcoin. The site's trading volume fluctuated between 1,500 to 3,000 Bitcoin a day. Between the site's user-friendliness and the fact that just about everyone wanted to get their hands on some Bitcoin around this time, it's no wonder that the company experienced astronomical growth. This growth helped shape the direction the company would go in. And once 2014 rolled around, that direction was to expand. In February, local Bitcoins announced they would be deploying low-cost Bitcoin ATMs all across the world. If they had already got people motivated enough to get off their butt and go out and buy some Bitcoin, why not give them the option of doing it via an ATM? This was a bold move because by now, the bull market was over, and in its place, a 3-year-long chilly crypto winter was settling in. In December of 2014, the company felt some of those chilling effects. The German government was concerned about local Bitcoins operating within the country without the proper licensing. This led to the eventual shutdown of operations within Germany. Regulatory concerns would become a common theme in the coming years that a lot of early blockchain startups would have to figure out how to navigate. In 2015, local Bitcoins expanded their reach into regions that didn't have first-world infrastructure when it came to cryptocurrency yet. In developing nations like Nigeria and India, this was sometimes seen as a lifeline when it came to acquiring the currency. But 2015 also brought the company a lot of headaches too. There was a lot of money at stake in crypto now, and with all the press it was getting globally, things were starting to change. all types of thieves began coming out of the woodwork slowly but surely, looking to try out their latest grift. Scams resulting in the loss of user funds was becoming a common problem on local Bitcoins, and eventually some high-profile cases went down. Money laundering was also becoming an issue, and soon that too began to receive a lot of coverage. It got so bad, in fact, that articles began popping up on how to still use local Bitcoins without getting ripped off. By the end of 2015, local Bitcoins found itself being kicked out of several locations. For every new place that they had set up shop, another existing locale was coming under pressure. The world of compliance like KYC or Know Your Customer and AML, anti-money laundering, was coming, and local Bitcoins was feeling that heat. Despite this, the company carried on, and in August of 2016, some good news was reported. They announced that over 1.35 million people from over 249 countries were now using their platform. Plus, their weekly volume of trades conducted was around $14 million now. Regardless of the issues the company was facing, there were still a lot of people out there that were using local Bitcoins. Just 1 month later, and they got banned from operating in Russia. So this easy come, easy go tug of war that the company was experiencing continued. 2017 was the next great bull market in crypto, seeing investment capital flow in like a waterfall. This boom period for the industry was unsurprisingly also good for the company, and they posted record numbers. 2018 was a pretty quiet year for local Bitcoins. However, the previous bull market of 2017 that was just wrapping up had now put crypto on the radar of almost every regulator on the planet. Local Bitcoins was forced to play ball and enact more compliance measures on the site, and this didn't go over too well with the user base. By 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, it became both a blessing and a curse for the company. On one hand, it saw user growth as now there was a lot of people that were bored in lockdown checking out crypto for the first time. On the other hand, the perceived risk of meeting up with someone in person during a pandemic wasn't exactly everyone's idea of a fun time out during this challenging period. Despite this, the company continued to evolve and enjoyed a lot of success that the bull market of 2021 brought along with it. However, something very important had now happened, something that local Bitcoins had no choice but to accept. The industry had greatly evolved since the early days of crypto. Now, there were plenty of unique and easy ways to acquire not just Bitcoin, but pretty much any coin you wanted. Local Bitcoins had expanded their offerings to include a lot more than Bitcoin a while ago, but by early 2023, none of this mattered. The combination of constant compliance issues plus the increasing amount of scams taking place on the platform had taken its toll. Plus, all the vastly superior options to quickly and safely get crypto and convert it into cash had now made local Bitcoins redundant. And thus, on February 9th, 2023, the company announced that they were shutting down. After a full decade of blazing its own trail, local Bitcoins had now run its course.
Pour one out for local Bitcoins. After a 10-year run, which is ages in crypto time, Bitcoin exchange Local Bitcoins is calling it quits, citing current market conditions and the prolonged crypto winter. Really quite a sad development for long-time observers of the space. Local Bitcoins is one of those early peer-to-peer Bitcoin marketplaces that really spoke to sort of the original ethos of Bitcoin, less intermediated by big companies and more about that peer-to-peer trading that was initially envisioned for the original cryptocurrency.
This was seen as a sad event given the pivotal role that the company had played in the early days of Bitcoin adoption. But that's how I think the industry is going to end up viewing local Bitcoins. They did something that no one else in the crypto space was able to accomplish. They brought early fans of Bitcoin together, helping form some very important bonds. Crypto is very much an impersonal experience for the most part. A lot of time is spent buying, selling, and moving coins around, and you're often on your own during that journey. Local Bitcoins changed all of that. And while it did come with some risk, it also offered people a platform to express themselves by making real connections, not just virtual ones. And maybe it's just the old school in me as a man, but there's just something special about celebrating one of the essential pieces of what makes us all human. I hope you enjoyed today's stroll down memory lane. Until next time, have fun and enjoy life, my friends. I'll be back soon with another incredible story to tell you.